Hey, hello, and welcome to another episode of Things That Go Bump in the Night and Why. I want to talk about today subject matter that happened while me and my wife was in Savannah, Georgia, and we were attending a church. We were actually attending a church service for the specific purpose of deliverance. They had one monthly, and they would ask us to come along, and normally we'd just be aides. We'd kind of sit around, help out, do whatever needed to be done. Well, this one particular night, we had a couple that we knew. They were down from Kentucky. They were from Kentucky. So they came down and they were sitting there. So my wife knew the gentleman and his wife. They'd just gotten married. They came out of a background where they both were on drugs. They managed to get over that. They got born again. They got saved. They were living their life right. And they came to a deliverance service that we were in. And the lady was preaching, so she got done preaching, and then we opened it up for prayer. Normally, we just kind of stood around and we waited to see what would happen or if somebody needed help. And all of a sudden, this lady that was with her husband was sitting right in the church pew. So you got one church pew in front, one church pew that she was sitting on, and you got one, of course, that's in the back. And all of a sudden, she, for no reason at all, let out this blood-curdling scream. I mean, she was screaming like she was on fire. And the next thing you know, she was standing erect. So she was straight up. She actually bent over backwards to the point where her back was over the pew behind her where she was sitting on while she was still standing, and was halfway down on the other side. So this was something that would not naturally happen. I don't know too many people that could do that unless maybe they were double jointed or had trained for their whole life to do that. But anyway, she was bent over backwards, screaming this blood-curdling scream. While my wife jumped into action, she ran right over there and grabbed the hold of that lady, kept commanding that spirit of witchcraft to come out. He kept commanding it to come out, and all of a sudden she just snapped forward, and she was totally free. Now, this was the interesting part that we were talking about, is that my wife asked her, said, well, what happened? She said, I was just standing there. All of a sudden, I started screaming, bent over backwards. And she said, I was screaming to the point so loud that I was saying, I don't want to be screaming. This isn't me screaming. So she was having a conversation with herself while she was screaming at the top of her lungs until she got set free. And she did get set free. And hey, put a drop in a comment below, like and subscribe if you like this content.